Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. We're moving into the close of our show, and it's a really exciting time that we've had announced. The California Realty beginning a new era with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services California Properties. We're broadcasting from this beautiful luxury estate down here in Del Mar. It is an 11,000, almost 12,000 square foot home, 6.5 baths, 5 bedrooms, a chef's kitchen, home theater. It has it all. You'll be able to see this property as you click on to nelsonradio.com. And it looks out across the Pacific Ocean and the Del Mar Raceway. It is a fabulous, fabulous example of some of the premier estates here in California. And as we go through this show, we've been wanting to focus, as we always do, is how companies give back and ways that they can contribute with the successes they have to help others that have had rougher times as life has gotten in the way. And I want to introduce you to Chairman of the Charitable Foundation, Mark Stewart, and also the Foundation Manager, Natalie Hill, and the Director of Just in Time for Foster Youth, Don Wells. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So, Mark, let me start with you. I want to ask you, in terms of just the theme, why it's important for you personally to be involved in a foundation and lead the charge on giving back to a large organization.
Well, it's been a big part of our company for a long time, and Natalie can speak to some of the larger goals that we have had as Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and the Charitable Foundation. But here in San Diego, we just really believe it's important to give back to the communities in which we live and work. And all of our agents, or many of our agents, contribute on a per transaction basis. And we're able to collect those monies and distribute those to worthwhile local charities like Just in Time for Foster Youth.
And the 3 organizations that roll up underneath the Charitable Foundation are here in San Diego.
That's correct. We also have a chapter in Los Angeles and Orange County, so we can really focus on keeping our money focused on local charities.
Give us an example of the volume of dollars that you're able to raise and redirect to these organizations.
Well, Natalie had mentioned earlier that since inception, I think we've been able to raise and donate a little over $4 million.
Right, $4.3 million.
$4.3 million. And does that go to a whole essay of different organizations, or is it centered on just a couple?
No, that is thousands of organizations in 3 counties.
And Dave, I want to ask you, with Just in Time for Foster Youth, you have some live stories of the impact of these dollars, what it does. Share with us.
Certainly. Well, first of all, Just in Time for Foster Youth helps foster youth when they age out of the foster care system at 18, and we help 18 to 26-year-olds. And people don't realize when we go and talk that there's a real issue here. Some people think that youth go into the foster care system, either they get reunited with their parents or they get adopted, and that's the end of the story. They're with a foster family and everything's great. But what really happens is about 300 foster youth here in San Diego emancipate each year, and the majority of them don't have family support. They are not adopted. They don't go back with their parents. They're out trying to make their lives work. And if you can think about your own life, when you were 18, could you have left home and just gone out and made your life work without any sort of help, not being able to call your parents, not being able to even go back and have dinner on Sunday, when your supplies got low? And when people's hours get cut back, sometimes people move back in with their parents. These young people don't have that opportunity. So what we do is we get the community together as volunteers to donate everything from furniture to money so that we can provide essential resources, and also there are relationships that come with that. So as you said, an example would be there's a young woman named Margarita who had spina bifida, aged out of foster care, was living in an apartment, sleeping on the floor. Even though she had that condition, she didn't have a bed. And so we helped her get a bed. We had a volunteer who started taking her to her appointments so she didn't ride the bus. We have a young man whose car broke down, and he was going to lose his car, so then he couldn't go to work, and then he couldn't keep going to school because he had no car. And so we helped him with emergency funds for that. So those are the kinds of things that happen. And with each one of those resources, there's a volunteer who comes with that, so that these young people start to feel like there are people who believe in me, people who care about me, and people who are going to be there when I need to call them.
You're listening to Nelson Radio, heard right here on KTLK AM 1150. You can reach us to find out more about Just in Time for Foster Youth and the Charitable Foundation by calling 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or you can click through at nelsonradio.com. We'll have this storyline up. And I just want to, you mentioned, at 18, if you didn't have these things. Natalie, at 18, you probably were accomplished and driven and whatnot. But can you imagine, just casting back now in your own life, if at 18 there was a cutoff and you had no family support, no connect, no mentoring, you're just now out in the world.
Right. No, I can't. I'm grateful there wasn't a cutoff at 30 and 35 because I don't know when you quit needing your parents and needing support in this world and in this community. And so Just in Time is an incredible organization, not one, and I deal with so many nonprofits in the 3 counties, and this is a really unique nonprofit I have not seen in the other counties, and so valuable to the kids in the foster care system.
And the $5,000 that was donated by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services California Properties. I'm getting used to the new title. That $5,000 will go a long, long way, I'm assuming.
Oh, it will. Everything from that could be 10 setups, home setups, again, where we are able to help people get furnishings and pots and pans and everything they need to make their house a real home. It can be 5 students who are going to college where we're able to get them a laptop and printer and dorm supplies and help them. So it goes a long way.
And passion leads the charge, I'm assuming. With your involvement, Mark, tell me about the passion piece that gets pinged every time you are able to give to an organization.
Yeah, you're giving me goosebumps just by talking about that. We are a completely volunteer organization, and all of these donations come directly from the agents. This is something that the agents really believe in, giving back into the communities in which, as an agent, I live and work. I give a portion of every piece of my transactions back to the foundation so we can support people like Don and the kids that he serves in our community. And it was such a natural thing to have Don come. It was just the easiest choice because their organization, literally the first time they pitched what they were doing to us, there was not a dry eye in our boardroom. It was just a beautiful thing, and we're just so lucky to have him here again today, and he's just a wonderful representative of San Diego.
Conviction and passion, I can see it in all 3 of your eyes as we talk together, and I want to thank you as well. It's something that we focus on at Nelson Radio, and giving back and using the resources that we're all blessed with and impacting others, that just like we've talked earlier, life gets in the way. I want to thank you for being with us. That's Mark Stewart, the chairman of the Charitable Foundation, Natalie Hill, the foundation manager, and Don Wells with Just in Time for Foster Youth, finding a way to help others. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. Rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down. Purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades. Direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136. 888-888-2136 or at strongcreditrewards.com.